The persistent rise in inflation has plunged many Nigerians into economic hardship. This has led to a surge in the cost of food items and other consumables, taking them out of the reach of many households. Millions of people now wallow in hunger and others trapped in a cycle of repetitive, affordable meals. Jide, I don't know what the bag of rice is going for now, but
in December actually half a bag of rice went for as high as 26,000 naira. Half a bag. In some places, a bag of rice, depending on the quality, long grain rice will naturally sell for higher price than short grain. The imported rice would definitely sell higher, than the local rice. But rice, some people reported buying rice for as high as 70,000 during the December holiday. But I remember buying some 25 kg for 26,000 naira. So, but ultimately, I expect that it will have gone down because the rush that we had in December is not the case currently. What this story is telling us is that some commodities like groundnut oil, beans, and yams, their prices have gone down. More and more Nigerians can't afford to buy yam. So they can't afford to buy beans, so they are going off them and going for noodles and spaghetti and the rest of them. Those ones, as far as they are concerned, are cheaper, and of course the children like them. So people are not concerned now about balanced diet. They are concerned about what they can afford. And if some particular food items are on the high side, people will go off them and buy the ones that are within reach. This is without prejudice to any sort of concern for their health, because you've got to eat balanced diet. It's not enough to eat something. You need to eat what is nutritious, what will be beneficial to the body. But Nigerians are not interested in all of that now. All they are interested in is what they believe they can buy, food that they can buy within their means. Husbands are not given as much money to stock their kitchens, to stock their stores. So for women to stock their kitchens and stores the way it used to be. People want to survive, and they are cutting their clothes according to they are living within their means. That's what I'm saying. And this is what inflation has caused. The removal of fuel subsidy has driven inflation to dizzying heights in our country, and people are struggling to survive, and whatever food they can afford, that is what they will eat. If it means eating the same food morning, day, and night, they won't mind, because that is what they can afford. That's what the story is about. Unless the situation eases up, you don't expect that a man who cannot afford to eat yam will then spend all of the money that he has on him to go and buy yam and eat. They won't do that. I now see Nigerians buying, I see yam being sliced into several parts, a tuber of yam being sliced into like 6 parts for people to just buy one part. It had never been the case. But Nigerians believe that these difficult times, they have to survive, and they will do whatever it takes, apart from stealing, to survive.
It's very difficult indeed.
I think to survive in Nigeria now is like living in hell. That is the truth. The most common food, bread, rice, the prices have gone up. We are not even talking of beans.
Over 1,000 naira for that.
Eggs of milk. Some families now, they have just simply banned, milk and egg from the stable. Bread, I think the biggest one is now about 1,000 naira. Last year, we still bought the same bread, 600 naira. So it's like every month, prices of foodstuff go up. And this has affected the quality of life, and with very serious consequences on health, on human health. A lot of people are ill now. They have no access to Medicare. Even they don't have enough manpower, economic power, to purchase the necessary medicine. I was trying to get Augmentin recently. Last year, I think I bought it around 4,000 naira. After searching almost the entire Ikeja, looking for Augmentin, I couldn't get it. Where I eventually got it, do you know the price? 42,000 naira. 42,000 naira. So I asked myself, if you earn less than 100,000 naira, so you use half of that money to buy Augmentin, Panadol, everything has gone up. And I just have pity, for the endurance, the spirit of endurance of Nigerians, the spirit of resilience, their capacity to withstand, the wild wind of poverty, of anger, of hunger, of deprivation. I think we deserve an award for this kind of, in the face of an uncaring, leadership that does not seem to be concerned, where, the leaders are buying new Jeep, 160 million and all that. They don't seem to care. Unfortunately, I'm not seeing the proportional response, or responses from state governors. How many state governors have gone into farming? Are we going to be having harvest meet this year? We are going to rainy season now. How many of those states have gone into, when they got these palliatives, last year? What did they do with the funds given to each state? Did they invest these funds into agriculture? Did they give local governments to, invest these funds into agriculture? So are we going to have bounty harvest in the next few months? I don't think so. So we are in a very terrible situation. And people are becoming hopeless and helpless. I just hope something will be done that can rekindle our doodling hope.
Hopeless and helpless. Well, I'll just advise Nigerians to do their best to keep their heads above the water, because the situation is really bad. What's the nutritional policy of the Nigerian government? I don't think I've seen it anywhere. What's the nutritional policy of the state and the local governments? Yes, repetitive meals may not be a bad thing in themselves ordinarily, because you can be creative. Like rice, you have over 75 recipes you can make out of rice. But that you also have to look at whether the people can actually afford those things that they can use, to try different recipes. I was shocked recently when I traveled somewhere in the south, and I saw palm oil being wrapped in tiny nylons, and I said, "What will this do?" So
as bad as that.
It's so bad, but I think people should. I advise people to try gardening, for instance. Things they can cultivate around them, even within their homes, with use their bottles, plastic bottles. We use plastic bottles, bowls. Disuse their plastic bowls. Some of these things they can cultivate around, maybe vegetables, lettuce, maybe a cucumber. Some of these things they can spring onions that they can cultivate around to just augment some of these things. And I keep saying, I'll say it again. We must make good use of agriculture. We must get more Nigerians into agriculture. We must get more Nigerians into agriculture, because agriculture has been our mainstay for many years. More, if you go on Facebook, there is a group, Rice Farmers Association of Nigeria. More and more, you see that more and more young Nigerians are going into rice farming.
But where is the encouragement from government? Where is the incentive from government? The youths are willing to do a lot of things, but the policymakers just sit back and be expecting the people to just run on autopilot. Creative thinking is needed in government so that we can make better use of all these things that God has given us.
Judy, how can we navigate through this time?
Oh, insecurity has worsened the food insecurity in our country. Many farmers can't access their farms. Bandits are giving people conditions. They are making them to pay so much. And the high cost of diesel. A lot of the trucks who bring food from the north to the south, they run on diesel. Diesel, I was told this morning, the price had gone up again because the Naira clearly had been struggling the last 4 days, against the dollar. So until we do something to bring down the price of diesel and even petrol, the costs will be borne by you and I because we have to pay. And on our highways, soldiers, policemen, and the rest of them, they have created multiple checkpoints where they extort money from drivers bringing food from the north to the south and vice versa. This cost will be borne at the end of the day by the consumers. Exactly. So all of these things are driving up food prices. We have to do our best because I really am worried that this year food inflation will reach record high in our country. It is the biggest driver of inflation in our country at this time. We have to do something about it. We have to energize agric production and create roads for people, farmers, to be able to move their produce from the hinterland to the urban centers where there are markets for them. There's a lot that can be done. And this administration promised tremendous cultivation of crops. They have to begin to fulfill those promises that they made. Young people must be encouraged to go back to the farms. We want to see this government do that. So,
All right. Wadley, I want to thank you for your contribution to this program. And Emeka,
thank you very much.
And Vicky, thank you for your contribution. Journalist Hangout on Sunday.
Thank you.
And that's our offering today. Join us tomorrow for another episode of the program, a regular Journalist Hangout by 5 p.m. You can watch the repeat broadcast of this particular episode tonight at 11:30 p.m. on YouTube, youtube.com/TVC News Nigeria. I'm Ayodele Usubaku. Bye for now.